Hi everyone and welcome to my craft room. Well, today is a rare opportunity. I have the place to myself. So while I could do a video with sound on, I thought I would turn the camera on and show you what I'm up to. So today I'm working with Below the Waves collection. So I've printed off one of the backing papers and I've selected to print this to 60% of its size. So it's originally an 8x8 paper and I've just asked the printer settings to print it at 60% of its size. So, and this is printed onto 160 GSM. So the 8x8 sheets, obviously your printer can't print 8x8 sheets. So this is what your 8x8 design looks like on the A4 page. And this is just printed as is. So you've got your little toppers, your little decoupage elements, a little bit of a foliage detail here and a sentiment topper. So using some of my scraps up, I've just run this through the machine with my polka dot embossing folder, and I am just going to grab a bit of card and I'm going to grab another sheet of this really nice blue, Midnight Blue Foundations Pill card by Creative Expressions, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of matting and layering. So I'll grab my Crafter's Companion tape pen, and I'm just gonna put some tape around the outside. Yeah, it's really chilly this morning here. I hope everyone's nice and warm where they live. Such a blanket of frost this morning. It looks so pretty, but I don't think my primulas like it. So just trim this down. Just so it's got a little bit of a white border on it. And then I am just going to pop it back onto. So I'll take my card blank first, and this is just a pre-scored 7x7 card blank with a right hand opening side, and I'm just going to offer this up. I'm not going to measure it, I'm just going to do it by eye. I'm just going to mark off where I want the cuts to be. Take my trimmer, and this is the my trusty old guillotine from Tonic. I think I've had this since about 2009. Never needed to change the blade. I just literally get a little bit of silver foil, some aluminium foil, and I just literally every couple of weeks do a little bit of cut with a silver foil that keeps it nice and sharp for me. Alright, so we'll pop this layer onto the card. I'm just going a little bit off there, so I'm just going to take a cat's whisker off. There we go, that's better. Thank you to everybody for their lovely comments in the Facebook group this week. It's lovely to see everybody sharing their cards as well. I love seeing what other people make, so please do post your fabulous creations with the rest of the group. Get my trusty bone folder. Now this is the little backing paper that I've printed to 60%, and I'm just going to trim that down a little bit more. I don't want to cut too much of the detail off, but I just want to trim it down a little bit. lovely. Now, because this has been printed onto dark and I'm putting it onto dark card, what I like to do is I just like to go around the outside of the topper just to put a little bit of ink down. Just helps give this edge a little bit of a distressed layer, and obviously because it's printed onto printable paper you do have that tonal difference in the blues, so I just like to have a little bit of a darker edge running around the outside. I just think it makes the design pop. Just one of my funny little quirks that I do. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise that up a little bit. So using a piece of this card, I am just going to mount it onto here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use foam pads just to elevate it, lift it up from the page. So if I had have done that without mounting it first, because it's just on paper, it would have ended up roughly. So I'm just going to try and take this to the edge of the card, and then using the guillotine I'm just going to trim this off. Now I might need to go quickly round with the ink pad again, but that's fine. None of my cards or projects are planned. I like to wing it. I find it more enjoyable than planning things out. When you do classes and workshops and makes and takes, everything has to be pre-planned and pre-measured, and I enjoy it, don't pick me up wrong, but sometimes it just takes a little bit of the creativity out of it. So when I'm doing my videos I just like to wing it, see where it takes me, warts and all. Never edit anything out. Right, so that's mounted onto a nice sturdy base now, so I'm going to pop that up with some foam pads, and because there's quite a big surface area I'm going to use my cheap and nasty foam pads for this. I got these because I was running low because my usual ones weren't in stock, but they're not the greatest, so I'll use these up. And what I mean by that is the side that's nearest to the liner is lovely and sticky, but the side that's underneath the foam isn't that sticky. So what I'm going to do is I'll peel all of these off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of my hot glue. I'm just going to wait a few seconds just to let the temperature cool down. By doing this, it'll just save warpage on this blue layer, because then I'm not putting something mad hot onto it. So, facing it around the right way, I'm just going to take the topper and I'm just going to sit it on top, just like that. And just that tiny little bit of elevation just gives it that little bit of shadow behind it. Then I'm just going to pop this to one side for the moment, and then I'm going to cut out, I think I'll use the square topper for this one. same again. Just going to go around the outside, just to add that lovely dark navy. And these are just inexpensive Deco Time little ink pads. I quite enjoy using this little set. There's a little bit of everything in there, some metallics and some chalks and all sorts, so the colours are quite good. You usually get them in Wilkinson's or the Range, or so. There's my little topper here, and what I'm going to do is just to add an extra little bit of oomph, I'm going to pop him on a little bit of mirror card, and I just want a tiny little border of this. Don't be laughing at the reflection of me in the gold mirror card. I've just got out the shower and I've got my hair all wrapped up in a turban while I'm waiting for my conditioner to do its thing. So there we go. Just a tiny little bit of a gold border, just to add a little bit of sheen. Tiny little bit off the bottom. And this was inspired by a friend of mine who's currently in Costa Rica saving the turtles. So I've been inspired by a lot this week. I've been doing the I did a little bit on the dark side because I've been watching Wednesday on Netflix. So I'll pop some more of these foam pads on. A little bit of the hot glue, and as before, I'm just going to wait a few moments just to let that cool down a little bit, just so it doesn't warp. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out my little turtle decoupage layers. So using my snips, I find it a lot easier to use snips than I do my scissors. Got dexterity issues, so I just find them a lot more comfortable to use, and also I can get so much further into the design with these. So I'm just literally going right the way around. As you can see, it's quite quick. And what I'm aiming for is, if you look at the design, I'm just aiming for the inside of the black line. If you aim for the inside of the line, then you won't get that white space around the outside. If you're fussy cutting these just to put them on cards, then by all means have your white space around the outside. But if you're wanting crisp layers so you can decoupage the design up, just want to go to the inside. And then again, if you're not sure, pop that on before it dries. There we go. And then if you're not sure, you can always if you've got a tiny little bit of white, you can always go around and just add a little bit of ink as well. It just gives him a little bit of a shadow. There we go. So I'll let him be my top layer. Cut another layer out. There we go. As you can see, I'm not being too precise. It hasn't taken me ages. There we go, and there's my next layer done. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll him over my finger just to give him a little bit of shape. because I want them to just be proud of the design a little bit. So I'm going to pop a too busy talking, that dried a bit on me, so pop a little bit more glue on. No worries, not leave it too long this time. And then this is the top layer, so same again, just going to put a little bit of shape, a little bit of bevel on there. There we go, turn this round, pop this in place, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of hot glue on the foam pad. And this is the one that I inked around the outside. Now you're just going to cut out the little sentiment. Just going to make it a little bit smaller so it's easier to manage. If you've got circle dies, then by all means you can use your dies or punches or shape cutters to cut these out, but I just wanted to show you how, if you just take your time, keep turning it, going clockwise round, it's not too difficult to cut out. And then same again, a little bit of ink around the outside. Right, now what I'm going to do is, I want a little bit of elevation on this. So I'm going to fake cut out a circle. I'm just going to cut the corners off this. And hopefully that shouldn't be too dissimilar size. You don't want to be able to see any of the white underneath. So I'm just going to pop some tape on there. Pop this to the underside so you can't see it. And then that gives me a nice sturdier base to pop my sentiment on. So what I'm going to do, just to mimic all of these lovely sea light foliage bits, I've cut out some lovely little leaves, and these have been cut out using my swatch sheets for paint, and I just like the colour variation, the shading detail. And like most crafters, I don't like anything going to waste, so I thought I would use these on here. And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue around the outside, and I'm just going to use that glue just to pop these where I want them. Go, and I think that's enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some glue in the center, I need quite a bit, so I'm going to put a nice big glob in the center, let that cool down a moment. While I'm doing that, I shall prep my glossy accents. Now I'm getting loads of air bubbles in this at the moment. It's doing my head in. So I'm just going to grab, while I'm waiting for that glue drying completely, I'm just going to get a bit of wire, and I'm just going to pop it down the stem. Can you see the little bubble? It's obviously been a little bit of air in the nozzle. So I'm right the way through now, so that's good. I'll pop the lid in. Right, so hopefully that should be dry. Lovely. A little bit of glue on the top, just to save on the foam pads. That's why I'm doing that. And then I'm just gonna pop him in place. And then I'm just going to take some glossy accents, give it a good shake before I start. And then I'm just going to pop some of this on the top layer of my little turtle. And the same again on the little topper. There we go. And there's my little Under the Waves card. So I hope you've liked this. I hope you've going to give it a go. If you would like to see more, you are more than welcome to pop over and join our little Facebook community. I also have a blog and I have a Patreon page, so everything that you need to know for this video I will pop in the description box, and I'll also put a little section in the first comment as well. So I hope you've liked it. If you have, please let us know in the comments below. Drop us a little message, give it a like if you can, and please, if you can, share the video. That would really help us out. The more people that interact with the video, the more people YouTube will show it to. So that's brilliant. Thanks very much for your time. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.